I'm very good at the moment, yeah.
Okay. Well, you're playing in the Ziggo Dome today.
Yeah.
And John Newman is playing as well.
Yeah.
And over the past couple of years, you've grown into great friends.
Yeah, well, I've hung out with him probably 3 times.
Okay.
Not a lot, but every time we've hung out, we've had a really good time. I hung out with him in LA when I was doing a writing trip, and he was out there writing. And then I did a writing session with him in London for a couple of days, and that was fun. And then we had a party at Ireland,
Okay.
and we both got absolutely smashed. So yeah, we know each other well enough now to sort of know we'll have a good crack when we see each other. Like,
When did you first meet him? Was it a musical thing?
yeah, it was in the, well, his manager looks after me.
Okay.
He's my manager as well, so that's the connection really, and we're label mates. So you know, we were bound to cross paths at some point. I met him first at the label. He was having a meeting, and he said, "Oh, big fan. I really wanted to meet him." I said, "Yeah, same." Yeah, it was kind of easy straight away, really. I don't really get on with that many people from the industry because they're all quite affected, whereas John isn't. He's just a good lad.
How do you notice the difference, or when did you notice the difference?
You can just feel it when you talk. You know, it's like there's no pretense. You say it and you hear what they're saying, and it's just how, you know, it's like talking to your mate. It's like when you meet someone that you end up spending a lot of time with. You normally, when you meet them, you feel like I know them already. You know, it was kind of like that. Kind of felt like I knew him, and he's from up north. My missus, she's from up north, so you know, he talks a bit like that. You know, so it just reminds me of, yeah, that's sort of the time I spent up north, and you know, my other half's family.
And in terms of his music, because like you said, he talked about this where he said he was inspired by you.
Yeah.
So what do you think of his music?
I really love his music. I think he's one of the contenders up there at the minute, I think, who is making great music, and he's got his own sound going. You know, considering there's a lot of male singer-songwriters, you know, Hosier, Ed Sheeran, Sam Smith, James Bay, John Newman. There's a lot of males doing their music, but you know, you know when it's John when he comes on. I think you know all of them. That's the good thing. You know, you hear their voice, you know who it is. You know, I think there's enough. It seems like it's crowded, but everyone's got their own space. You know. And
well, let's go back a little bit then, because you've been away a couple of years.
Yeah.
I believe after the Tour of the Awakening, you took a break.
Yeah.
You just mentioned that pretentiousness that kind of goes around in the industry. Did you need a break from that?
A little bit. I mean, not the pretentiousness, but more of the affected sort of. I just felt a bit like I wanted to just be a normal guy again. You know, I've been James Morrison on the road for like 18 months, and it wears you out. You know, meeting people all the time and being everyone's best mate and being the, you know, I don't know. It's not like I'm renowned for being a party guy, but when you have after shows or you go to a hotel, everyone thinks you're the party. So it just wears you out, you know, being that person all the time.
Is it difficult to have a normal life while in that situation?
No, not. Well, while you're on tour, it can be it's not a normal life at all, because you're living out of a suitcase and buses, and you're travelling every other day, and you know, and you're travelling with people that are like me. You know, you're travelling with people that are like you, which are all normally pretty weird socially, weird sort of people, you know, that have sort of social issues. So, but I like touring. I really enjoy it. But then at the same time, I enjoy going back home and having normality, you know.
What did you do during the break? Just regular stuff?
Yeah, I went. The first thing I did was I went snowboarding, I think. I just wanted to do something sporty, something the opposite of creative music, you know. And then I went on quite a few holidays. I went on lads' holiday here, actually.
Okay. How was it?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was great. I needed a week to get over it. Yeah, it was just good. I just did normal stuff, you know, like I mowed my lawn in my garden. You know, I took my daughter to school. I went, you know, just normal shit that I don't really get to do when I'm always busy. And I've probably been, best part of 10 years been kind of, not 10 years, but maybe 7 or 8, just constantly being busy, doing the rotation of tour, album, and it just wore me out.
Was there a point then during the break where you began to miss that part of your life?
Yeah, happened quite quick. I was like, I'm bored now, you know. But at the same time, you know, I needed to kind of make sure that whatever time I had off was going to be enough for me to feel like I want to come back and make music naturally. And I was lucky that they had a lot of albums coming out already on Ireland, that I was allowed that space, you know.
Did you write in that period?
A little bit, but not a lot. I didn't really, you know, I had little jams and stuff on my guitar, but I wasn't thinking about writing at all. I just turned that part of my brain off.
So when did it get switched back on again?
After about, I had 6 to 8 months off.
Okay.
And then I started writing again after that, and it probably took 6 months for me to start getting back into a flow.
Because I read somewhere that you wrote a lot of songs, around 70, and then you decided to scrap them all.
Well, not all of them.
Okay.
You know, obviously the 12 or 13 that are on the album were out of those 75 tracks that I wrote. But the ones that I did in the beginning, the first 6 months of writing, I was trying to create a new sound or a freshness, and I didn't really know what it was that I needed to get that. And it all just sort of sounded like shit music. It just didn't sound like music to me. It didn't make me feel anything. So I just sort of scrapped it, and I think I tried to forget where I was from, you know, which is just singing lyrics and playing my guitar. And I was trying to move away from that because I was trying to do something different. And I thought I should just come back to that actually, and just have a different approach with it, with the writing. So I just came back to lyrics and songs again, and it just sort of happened by itself then.
Looking back now then, because it's been a couple of months, maybe a year or more, do you know why you kind of wanted to separate yourself from what you were good at, just doing the guitar?
I just wanted to see what I could, you know, I just wanted to see what I could do musically if I took myself out of my comfort zone. Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what I've done the whole way down the line for this album, really. Even the songs that made it onto the album, there's an element in each song that is me out of my comfort zone. But I think you get better results when you push yourself. So it took a lot longer, and it was a lot more tormenting to get the songs. But once I got them, they felt really good and really fresh. So it was worth it.
Because you say those 12 came from the 75 that you wrote. When did you start to see a commonality between the songs that kind of ended up on
probably after about a year of writing. I mean, I had half the album done, and I knew half of it was good, but I just needed the other half, and I didn't know what that other half was going to be, and I just tried to and I did start to get to the point where I was panicking, like it wasn't going to come together. But then I just stopped worrying about it. I don't know why, but I just stopped worrying about it and just started writing, and that's when I got all like Right Here, Higher Than Here, Demons, Stay Like This. They all sort of came when I stopped giving a shit so much.